Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
A bloodbath tonight in the rural town of Chinook.
Everyone here is hiding a secret.
4 more victims found scattered.
Some worse than others.
I came as fast as I could. I'm Deputy Ruth Vogel.
And soon, my quiet life will never be the same.
Realm presents a 30 Ninjas production, Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Angel on Top, a podcast where we watch and discuss every episode of Angel, one by one, spoiler-free and in tandem with no one. Everything has changed. We're all alone. And now we're in the last few episodes of the series. I'm your co-host, LaToya Ferguson, a.k.a. the dead female lead of the Whedonverse, a.k.a. one half of the Gunn Squad. He wears hoodies again now, which I guess counts as character development in the season. A.k.a. the Gilbert to Morgan Sullivan. A.k.a. Daddy, even if only a couple of other people can now remember that, but it otherwise makes no difference, at least not on screen. A.k.a. Captain Forehead. A.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
And I'm your co-host, Morgan Lutich, a.k.a. the other dead girl one of the Whedonverse, a.k.a. the other half of the Gunn Squad. Sure, he's sad, but aren't we all at this point? A.k.a. the Sullivan to LaToya's Gilbert, a.k.a. the number one Khaki Connor Angel stan. I am planting my flag. That is my boy, and I love him. And why isn't he in this episode? A.K. William Bloody, a.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
And this week, we're watching Angel Season 5, Episode 19, Time Bomb. Time Bomb was written by Ben Edlund and directed by Vern Gillum. It aired on the WB on April 28th, 2004.
And this is the one where Illyria's powers become too much for her human body to handle, and Team Angel solves this by accidentally knocking her out of linear time.
Previously on Angel, still nothing. You just figure it out.
Yeah. You nerds.
Well, we got a fresh Angel. For the promo for this episode, it definitely focuses more on Time Bomb itself than the fact that there's 4 episodes left. Because, for Origin, they barely focused on Connor, which is crazy because he's our favorite character.
He's everyone's favorite, I assume.
Of course. So, Morgan, how did you feel about this episode?
Not to pull a Jill Dayfield, but I don't really have an opinion. I kind of found this to wash over me and leave me with very little. It doesn't have that classic Ben Edlund goofery. For a Ben Edlund episode, it feels pretty straightforward and tame, and I don't mean about the timeline, which obviously is not straightforward. It hops around a little bit, but I don't know, I kind of felt like we could have had a little more fun here. Now that we're right at the end, I kind of wonder if doing an Illyria focused episode is really what I want at this stage. I kind of want to hang out with my friends and talk about how they're thinking and feeling, not how this new interloper is thinking and feeling. But
you say you want to have fun, right? Well, just wait till next week's episode. See how much you like fun on the show Angel.
You are right. Anytime I request fun, I'm given the worst kind of it. But I just think could have been a little bit more here. LaToya, how do you feel about this one?
Well, it was interesting because before I even watched it, I had remembered it ruling, and that's kind of why I wanted to like watch it again. And I think the Illyria stuff is really good, but it's a muddled episode for a lot of the same reasons everything's been muddled this season. So it's kind of like when it's not the Illyria stuff, I'm like, okay. And like, because I had rewatched it, remembering it ruled, and I didn't take my notes. And then when I tried to rewatch it again and try to take my notes, I couldn't focus on it. It took me forever to do notes on this episode. It was an interesting thing, but just, of course, to give us context, of course, so our lead-in for Smallville was the season 3 episode Memoria, which is one of the all-time great episodes of Smallville. And it's funny because here is the plot for Memoria. Lex believes that he needs his memories back, but Clark can't take the risk of his secret being exposed. That's basically Origin.
If Lex remembers Connor, it's all fucked.
Yeah. And that episode ends with My Immortal. It fucking rules.
Yes. God, I haven't listened to My Immortal in a minute. I could use a My Immortal listen right now.
You didn't listen to My Immortal as soon as they announced Jennifer Garner would be in Deadpool 3?
No, I just listened to Bring Me to Life over and over and over and over again.
You listen to both of them.
You're right. You're right that I do. Because I am hankering for a new Daredevil watch. I don't Daredevil watch.
All know in the Daredevil feature film, they play My Immortal at her dad's funeral, and then she's training, and it's to bring me to life. And that is filmmaking. That's cinema.
That is cinema. I will never get over how I felt when I watched that, like the summer after 4th grade or whatever. Like I was a changed woman. That made me all changed. An adult.
Things were popping off on the WB this night because so for Smallville, it got 4.3 million viewers, and then 4.2 for Angel. And there was actually the bump because, like I said, in Origin, they started like pushing. It's like the last few episodes. So like it got the bump of we're in the end. And I have to, of course, acknowledge, obviously, when I brought up Keenady and Karen Sisko during our Underneath viewing, I didn't even realize, I wasn't paying attention, I guess. It wasn't even them on Fox and ABC, respectively. It was their burn-off episodes on Bravo and USA, respectively. Oh. And I remember watching my Keenady reruns on Bravo, and then eventually getting like the series DVD on Netflix. You know how it is.
Like you do.
Yeah. But also recently we're discussing episodes of the season that you would rewatch again, like by choice. And you didn't bring up Smile Time. Would you rewatch Smile Time?
I would rewatch Smile Time. Smile Time is incredibly cute and like a real delight. And I also loved our episode of it. So I feel like I would get nice memories from that as well. Okay. Smile Time gets a rewatch. Maybe Disharmony, but like also Disharmony has all of that rough stuff about women of color in the workplace. Yeah, and like the chopstick sounds and all the things. The thing. So it's not like it would be
also it's
free of
Harm's Way, because Disharmony is the season 2 episode.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yes. Harm's Way. I'm
bad. Would your welcome be there just because you get some Cordelia?
It's complicated.
And shirtless Christian Kane.
I mean, yeah. Short answer, yes. Long answer, sometimes the better this season gets, the worse it gets right next to it, because it can be so frustrating to see Charisma finally being there knowing the circumstances.
Wouldn't you be happy though? Like, you're just like, here, I'm gonna watch the stuff that makes me happy and then not think about the circumstances.
Yeah, I know, but it's just sometimes the circumstances are so unavoidable.
Because I was like looking back at what episodes I would rewatch. And like in general, I don't tend to skip episodes in my rewatches anyway. Although usually if I'm rewatching a season, it's like I probably won't start from the beginning. I'll choose like I want to like rewatch, a certain arc, or like do I want to see some baby Connor? Like what am I feeling? And am I trying to get some inspiration from the storytelling of season 4? Like that's how. But like if I were to choose episodes from the season, including what you've already said, maybe Life of the Party. Although the Eve Angel stuff, no, but like and Don't Leave Me This Way is in the episode. Lineage, yeah, I won't have to think too much about the cyborg stuff if I just rewatch the episode.
Just know it doesn't go anywhere.
You had mentioned Destiny, Harm's Way, obviously. Like, sometimes I just do like the major Harmony episodes of like Buffy and Angel, so I just like watch all of those.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Smile Time. I think if I have to choose between one, Shells over A Hole in the World, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, I can get my cry in at the end of Shells, but like it's not like the whole episode is that suffering.
No, yeah, it's take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Just watch Shells.
Yeah. When I rewatch this episode, I would maybe just kind of fast forward to the Illyria stuff in this episode.
Yeah, maybe. I'm struggling to feel compelled by Illyria other than as kind of like a comedic. I don't know if that's entirely correct. I am struggling to feel compelled by Illyria. I would like to be won over. I think Amy is doing fantastic. I just think it kind of feels like an awkward time to bring in an entirely new person who there has to be a lot of exposition about when I'm like, but I only have like this much remaining time with all of my friends. You know, I feel that pressure on it.
I do think part of the mess here is like the rushing to like wrap it all up. And I do think the next episode doesn't help with that feeling. Because there's the part where she's like, she's talking to Angel. She's saying, fighting to hold on to what you were, it's destroying you. And like the whole point of Illyria's thing is to push Angel to do the thing that's clearly clearly a play. Like we can just say that from here. Like Angel's doing a bit, basically. He's doing something, and it's not like he truly believes what Illyria says, because everything's Illyria saying, hey Illyria, you ended up in a sarcophagus, and like the wolf, the ram, and the heart, they fucking took over. Like what you're saying is wrong. But like he's getting into her mindset, and that's why he is doing whatever he's doing. But when she says to him, that fighting to hold on to what you were is destroying you, it's muddled because like it's how much of a mess the season is in general that's making it muddled.
Yeah.
Like there's an interesting connection you can make between the two of them and how they see the world and like their status and that, because she keeps calling it like his kingdom and him being king, and it's like Angel's not king, he's just a good boy.
But like he's a leader, he's this figurehead, like there's something there. But
it's like really rushing to get to this point of trying to make that connection, which is just kind of a symptom of, and now we have to wrap this all up.
Which is not a task I envy.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard. They were not given a lot of notice. Like, I'm not here to be too complainy about any of that stuff. I just am struggling to find the thing to be like, woo, about.
I will complain, though, about how so much of this episode is Angel being like, we have to stop her, blah, blah, blah. It's like, at no point, it's not until Wes talks to Hamilton, and then he doesn't even really tell them what the deal is, which he really should, that he's like, they think about using Illyria as a weapon for their own gains. Because we'll get into it, but like Angel's talking about like the resources of this place, blah, 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 blah. Like, the monetary resources of this place are not anything that is integral to Illyria. What she wants, like the power she wants, is a different kind of power than the power Wolfram and Hart has, basically. Yes. And to think of it like she would care about that, it's really obtuse, I think. But yeah, it's not until the Hamilton thing with Wes where it's like, oh yeah, we should. They obviously don't want Illyria around the senior partners. We should probably keep her around. But like again, things are happening, not even happening off screen. They just don't happen. Basically. And part of that is because Wes is annoyed because Angel just has to be like dumb brute being like, will it kill her? And when he's trying to, the thing he's trying to explain is clearly that it's not going to kill her. But Angel's like, it's going to kill her? Yeah, sure. That's Wes's reaction pretty much.
Yeah, it's just like at this point I'm like, stop playing pranks on each other. Like, put all your cards on the table. Like, have conversation.
Part of it is because Wes has his memories back, so of course his first order of business is to betray Angel.
Oh, classic. Yeah, now that he's himself again.
He's like, of course I'm going to lie to Angel about what I'm going to do.
It's my favorite.
So just telling him this. Of course, another missed opportunity in the world of off-screen, which is Wes enlisting Spike to help him in the first place. Like, we talk about, like, how Spike and Fred were best friends.
Yes.
Let's see some of this, like, the two of them who would care the most about this in this part, like, actually, working together.
Show me the British
recruited
boys
Spike.
teaming up.
Yeah, he recruited Spike off-screen. I would like to see that, actually.
Yeah, that's a scene between two characters I like who haven't really gotten to interact a lot this season. That could have had both comedic and dramatic value.
And Spike can clearly see that Wes is cool again. So
I want to know what Spike thinks about, like, now grizzlier Wes. Because he was hanging around with, like, very, very, like, uptight, boring dweeb Wes. Does he think this Wes is hot? Does he think this Wes fucks? Does he think this Wes is cool? Are they gonna smoke cigarettes together?
Did he also notice in this episode that Alexis clearly cut his hair very short and they tried to fix it with gel?
Yes.
It's very funny. The first scene of him in his office, I'm like, there is so much gel in his hair. Then I realized, oh, his hair was like cut very short and they're trying to do something.
Oops. I just want, like, Wes drunkenly telling Spike about how he used to have a cool neck scar, and Spike being like, that sounds so, I'll give you one again. Like, he's like, let me, like
he's got a sword.
Like, we could be in a safe environment. We can seal it right up. Like, you can have that cool neck scar again. You can be that dude. And him, like, nearly beheading Wes. These are the shenanigans I want.
This is what the people would like to see.
It's what the people deserve. But shall we dive in?
I suppose.
All right. We open in the suburb hell basement. The Wrath is shushing Gunn, who is, crying out in fear and pain and such. And he's about to do a big old stab. And then the room starts to shake. Illyria's here, and she's saving Gunn. And
there were gunshots, which means the blonde family did shoot at her. She murdered that woman and that blonde boy.
Absolutely. Rip to them. And Illyria makes very quick work of the Wrath, rips off Gunn's necklace.
Our friends again are not thinking. No one thought to put the necklace on the Wrath, even though they, at an earlier time in our lives, they would have thought of that.
I do feel like they've gotten dumber.
But yeah,
this season specifically.
He's like, Fred, what the fuck? You look terrible. To which I say, rude.
Yeah, rude. And then I read in my notes that LOL got her. And Gunn, now that he remembers who he is like, oh, Illyria. Ugh.
I want to see the Wrath with his now dead blonde family, but also
desperately
this whole someone has to stay here. Blah blah blah. Where's Knox's dead body?
Yeah,
use him.
Yes, I fully agree. We don't have some piece of shit we can send there instead. Like, come on,
P-Vane.
P-Vane, great. So Gunn is like, I can't leave the dimension unless, we do the necklace thing, and they do the necklace thing. They put it on the Wrath. We see him stabbing himself in the heart wearing the necklace. I get it. So Wes is kind of like, I explained what's going on with Gunn, and Illyria just opened a portal and left. So I assumed she's getting him. Good news, I guess. And Angel doesn't buy it. What's the catch? Illyria can't just be helpful. Can she? Says, do you have any idea?
She was a little bitch to him in Origin.
Absolutely she was, and it was cool. But it's like, again, Angel, did you not notice how into Wes she is? Like, he's not
he has, and that's the problem
anymore. Yeah, he's scared. Now that Wes has his memories back, he can see the betrayal countdown timer going.
What can I do to betray Angel's trust?
So he says, like, do you have any idea why she's doing this stuff for you? Like, why would she take this risk for us?
I wrote in my notes, because they're fucking in Morgan's mind.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, look, you heard it. So Wes is like, look, maybe to her it doesn't seem like that much of a risk. She's the powers of a god. Like, we're all insignificant, and so are the obstacles we're facing. Maybe it's just not a big deal to her.
She has the powers of the god, and we will need to take those away for the budget.
Wes is like, I think, like, if anything, she sticks around because I amuse her. And I'm like, do tell. But Angel's like, she sticks around because she smells power and influence here. Maybe she sees Wolfram and Hart as a place that can give her full powers back.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't think her idea of everything is anything she can get from a corporate overlord.
Yeah.
Because if that's what she wanted, like, her plan would just be Jasmine's plan.
Yeah, like, why not? Also, like, why not just, like, go to the White Room then? And be like, hey, I'm Illyria. What do you want to do? Like, pretty easy to do that. So Wes is like, maybe we could, like, get her on our side? And then she pops through the portal with Gunn, and she's holding him up by the throat. And I said, joke's on you. He's into that now. He hates himself. And I was like, not in a horny way. He just wants to be punished. She knows that Gunn has value. Angel gets all threatening. Wes steps in and is like, oh my God, Illyria, you're right. Gunn is of great value. So we're in debt to you for returning him. Thank you.
See, this is why Illyria doesn't like Angel. Like, Wes is always patient with her, and then Angel gets, like, all wee little puppet man with her. It's like real, I'm the decider, I decide vibes.
It is so... It's a color I don't love on Angel and Boreanaz, and it's a color we see a lot this season.
Yeah, like, I really spent a lot of this episode being like, is this even Angel? Like, I'm watching this performance, I'm like, is he even playing Angel?
That's the thing, which is why I must, like how soon after this is Bones? Like, how long is it until Bones?
It's not the next season, I think it's the season after. I think he took one season break.
He took one network season off and then did this.
Here, let me just double check.
Yeah.
Bones.
The Bones is the girl one, just so you know.
Bones starts fall of 2005. So yeah, he just took off this upcoming season after the show.
And
which is insane.
I have not watched a lot of Bones, but there's
a lot of seasons of it.
Oh yeah, that's like a lighter thing, right? Like I'm not like it's a little bit more of like a Blue Skies procedural, like there's murdery stuff in it.
There's serial killer stuff, like arcs. There's 12 seasons, 246 epissodes.
Good God, they don't make them like they used to.
And now SEAL Team looks like it's gonna last forever too, and that's definitely dark area.
So maybe you just get tired of one mode and you want to go into another, but like it just does seem like this. I don't know if we're playing to Boreanaz's strengths at this point, and that's not me trying to ding his performance or anything. It's just me saying, like, TV is a theater troupe. You're supposed to play to the strengths of the people you're working with.
Feels like a grumpy and jealous, honestly, because there's a point where he tells her to stop speechifying. I'm like, that's all you're doing in this episode, Angelus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, when
I say Angelus, I mean season 4 Angelus, because he loves to give a speech.
Yes, he does. God, that bitch was monologuing when he was auditioning for Juilliard.
He loved to hear the sound of his own voice, and it was great, but still.
It was fun. So Illyria, it feels sufficiently flattered by Wes and drops Gunn on the floor. Great. We go to titles. Then in the lobby, Gunn walks into his first day back in his sadness hoodie. Solemn music plays as he walks through the lobby, which is like a very far cry from like the strut we've been seeing in his various suits and like bouncy kind of music. It's a real departure from that. He gets into his office and it is just like full of paperwork that is like piled up on his desk.
He does not have his full memories back, but he does have his hell memories back. So, because he remembers all of the torture, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All the stack of files are waiting for him. His client's supposed to be pissed, although I do wonder, do they not have other lawyers who could have taken on his cases? It's a law firm.
I believe that associates would have stepped up to handle it, but it would have been people way less senior. So I'm sure his clients are still all pissed because they're not being,
Are there no other senior level lawyers now?
Yeah, but none that have every magical law ever shoved into their brain through the power of the non-matrix.
And now I have to wonder, is Gunn a partner?
No idea. Ooh, he should be. He deserves to be.
Sorry, guys, I've been watching Netflix's The Lincoln Lawyer lately, so...
I
got my Duty Kelly back on, guys.
Hell yeah, very happy for you. I bet he's a partner. Yeah, like obviously not a named partner, but like he's a partner for sure. So we go to Wes's office. He is asking his books for lots of research material on
so much gel in his hair. So much gel.
And especially anything on the old ones. And on how to make your hair grow really, really fast so that nobody notices you got a haircut that's too short. Gunn comes in and finds that Wes's office is a huge mess. Every surface, including the ground, is covered in open, dusty old tomes. And Wes is like, I'm doing a perfect approximation of it, but obviously this is an audio medium. But LaToya, can you vouch that I'm like doing it? Like he's like hunched over and he's
well, we are recording this video, so like we could make a GIF of this.
Okay, so he's kind of like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Wow.
Like, he keeps kind of doing that. It's great. I love the manic energy. It makes me laugh.
Okay, so we're making a GIF of that.
Yes. Finally. Visual comedy. So Gunn is like, oh, this place is kind of fucked, just like Wes. And Wes is like, hey. Oh,
he is basically saying his internal monologue out loud right now.
Yes, like he has like near It's Always Sunny vibes. He's like, hey, I know I should apologize. I know I should, but because of the stabbing. But it feels like it might be awkward, so I'm just gonna kind of like move past it. And Gunn is like, yeah, good call. Anyways, I don't want a sorry. I probably wouldn't accept it. It's nothing compared to the wrath cutting my heart out over and over again. So I'm pretty much have forgotten it. Thumbs up. Wes is like, okay, Gunn, what are you looking for then by coming here to my office where I am trying to contain my unstableness? And he's like, a compass? Like now with Illyria around, like I don't know which way is up. The thing that killed my friend is working with us. Like I just feel very lost and adrift. And Wes is like, everything is a bit odd.
Oh boy, he's not well. Gunn says this place just went Poseidon on my ass. I don't know which way is up. I did not understand that reference. I was so confused. And then I looked it up, but then because IMDb wasn't helpful when the description of the movie, I'm like, I still don't get it. Then I had to look. So the reference is 1972's The Poseidon Adventure. Here's the description given on IMDb. A group of passengers must embark on a harrowing struggle for survival after a rogue wave capsizes their cruise ship at sea. That still doesn't explain it. So in the capsizing that happens, the ship flips over and all the internal rooms are upside down. That is the reference.
Yep. And some of us have seen the reboot of that came out in the early aughts, Poseidon, which I believe has Emmy Rossum in it. Post Phantom of the Opera when she was in her Day After Tomorrow bag.
I remember that movie vaguely, but I did not know that was a remake.
Yes, it's a remake, so it does the exact same thing. So, it's up is down.
The poster for Poseidon is an upside-down ship.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, we got Kurt Russell. We got Josh Lucas, because of course we do. We got Richard Dreyfuss. We got Emmy Rossum. We got Jacinda Barrett. We got Mike Vogel. We got Mia Maestro. We got Andre Braugher.
Yeah, baby.
And of course, Akiva Goldsman was in there producing that shit. You know it.
His country used to make things. So Wes is like, I don't know, maybe we just need to adjust. And I'm like, is this adjusting? You don't look well. Then they start talking about Illyria, and Wes is like, yeah, weird, huh? You can't look at her without seeing...
I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the Poseidon soundtrack. There are 2 Fergie songs on it, including what I believe is a cover of Enrique Iglesias' Bailamos.
Good. Wes is kind of like, you can't look at Illyria without seeing, and he cannot even say Fred's name. So he finds a clever little workaround that he seems very pleased with himself about, and he says, her body's previous owner. And then he does a little giggle because he's fully unhinged. And he's explaining, we look so small to her being Illyria.
And it makes sense as a reaction to getting all of his memories back, but they're not acting like that's what this is.
It you kind of have to read between a lot of lines and just kind of make your own calls about what's going on. And that's not always the worst thing, but it's not the way storytelling has usually been on this show in previous times.
This is different. We're not, I feel like I'm going to be gaslit, but in this case, it's just being like told, the show's always been like this. No one has it.
No, sir.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Don't you love it when you find a new podcast you really like? Well, let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm Mike Carruthers, the host, and in every episode, you'll hear fascinating information that will make your life better from top experts. Recently, we've done episodes on why you have the personality you do, the science of luck, and the psychology of a restaurant menu. You're going to like Something You Should Know. We have literally thousands of 5-star reviews. Look for Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Simon Jack.
And I'm Sing Sing.
And together we host Good Bad Billionaire, the podcast exploring the minds, the motives, and the money of some of the world's richest individuals.
Every episode, we pick a billionaire and we find out how they made their money.
And then we judge them. Are they good, bad, or just another billionaire?
Good Bad Billionaire from the BBC World Service.
Listen now wherever you get your BBC podcasts.
So Gunn is like, do you have her on a leash? And Wes is like, no, I do not. They joke about her thinking she's the God King of the universe, but she isn't. And Gunn's like, so she's a TV star. You get it?
Shut the fuck up.
Because as we know, all female actresses are bad.
Well, what was it? I said, like, shut the fuck up, Joss Whedon, for that one. But there was actually a previous line that said, shut the fuck up, Joss Whedon, which is, she was ruler of the world. Sort of thing goes in one's head. Shut up, Joss Whedon.
Absolutely. And Wes is like, she's nowhere near that bad, meaning a television star. But a bit more violent, though. And, I write in my notes, actresses, they're all unreasonable. And anytime they're upset with you, it's their fault.
That was a real Bruce Campbell delivery. Spies, a bunch of bitchy little girls from the Bird Notice intro.
Well, as you know, I've learned all I know about acting from the Burn Notice intro, which Michael Chasen will do for me anytime I request it.
That's because it's good, and someone needs your help, Michael.
It's been too long. I actually need to request, for my own mental health, to request another recitation of the
Please
Burn
record
Notice
it.
intro. I will. Then we go to the training room and we have this Spike and Illyria scene. Spike is getting better at fighting Illyria.
It's actually
he's
working.
Kind of learned stuff, which is cool. Illyria needles him. She's like, you liked Fred, the shell, the body's previous owner.
You freaking
and he's like,
cuck.
Yeah, you freaking cuck. You liked her. And he goes, yeah, loved her.
It's crazy
what are you gonna
how
do about it?
Illyria's always calling people betas and cucks and talking about their low T.
And it's weird because, obviously that's kind of an anachronism. It hadn't really been invented yet, but we all just rolled with it. She was
she time travels,
Well, she's unstuck, so she knows that all of these guys are, good for nothing cucks.
She is red-pilled.
She is absolutely red-pilled.
It's crazy how she's always just mocking Wes for being a fucking incel.
It's so wild. He should have listened. He should have. Wes whispering to his Wolfram Hart book, "Give me everything you have on incels."
Thinking more Illyria going back in time to season 3, being like, "Stop being such an incel." He's like, "Fred,
why are you blue?" It's good now. So Illyria is like, okay, if you loved her, why are you so fine, punching me when I look like her? And Spike's like, because it's very obvious to me you are not her. Like, no part of you is her. You smell different, you act different, all the shit. And Illyria is like, you figured that out. That's adaptation, which I look down on. I, as Illyria, adaptation is
for cucks.
Compromise. I read my notes. Dang, you can't even learn in Illyria's book.
I am curious. Is he not struggling, like the other boys, because he didn't know her as long too? You think?
I mean, yeah, I would also think that mainly.
And again, this is interesting stuff we could get more into. It's like, Spike really did care about Fred, and we could have seen more of that, but like in the end, like he knows he can compartmentalize better than they can because he didn't have like the whole gamut of Fred.
Yeah, he didn't have like years with her, and did not know her as intimately as either like Wes or Gunn knew her.
Like, what would be similar, like, for like him to feel the same way as the rest of them? It's like if it was like Willow. Like, he's not like best friends with Willow, but like he knows Willow.
Yeah. He'd care if something bad happened to Willow. More Illyria. When the world met me, it shuddered and groaned, for it had never met anything like me. And Spike's like, okay, whatever.
Did you also
pissing her off?
Were you also like this fucking Shakespeare cuck boy Joss Whedon when you were like everything she said? I'm like, you love Shakespeare, I get it, but
we get it. You love the bard.
Me too, but I'm cool about it.
Like Kenneth Branagh.
Yes, our king, our striking king.
Yes. Solidarity forever. So Spike is like trying to get her while she's like pontificating, but Illyria uses her slow-mo powers and knocks him around. Angel shows up. He wants to talk. We reveal a new little room. I don't think we'd seen this place before. It's like this little room with like two-way glass just off the training room.
Which I guess makes sense. Like there's a training room if you were using it like, to study someone.
Observe.
Yeah. But it just, everything she says in this episode, after a while, I'm like, girl, it just sounds like you're making shit up. Like they can't fact check this.
Yeah. To be fair, were I in her position, I would do that.
When the world met me, it shuddered, it groaned. Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Sure, that's what Pangea was doing.
Absolutely. Pangea split because of me. It was a whole Pangea situation, guys. So in the
Illyria's great now.
Yeah, she's good. See, with just a little work from us, we can make Illyria work. Spike is like, look, I'm figuring it out, fighting her. Like, it's like he is testing her is upping my game. Like, I didn't even know I was rusty, and now I'm like sharp as a tack. I'm feeling really good.
It's pretty cool. It's like, it seems like at first it's Spike just trying to make excuses for why he's sucking. It's like, wait, no. He's like, this is actually helping me not suck.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, good for you, babe. Angel's like, we're not testing her, she's testing us, and that's the problem. Illyria stumbles in. Yeah,
Angel's,
I know.
Again, he's like, she wants Wolfram Hart to, like, for the resources. She's testing us. I don't think any of these things are happening.
This is just kind of like the millionth time this season that Angel's been like, I know how it is, shut up. And I'm like, do you though?
He needs someone to tell him he's dumb, and not in the way Spike tells him he's dumb. He needs Cordelia or Fred. He needs one of those girl ones, because the girl one we have is Harmony.
And if Harmony tells you you're dumb, either you're so dumb it's worrying, or like you don't believe that stuff.
It's like, or like, she doesn't get what's happening.
Or she doesn't understand what you're saying to her. So Illyria stumbles in, clutching her stomach, looking
she
worse
zoops
for
in,
wear.
panting, and she's confused. And this is the beginning of the tummy aches. Towards the end, she starts clutching her head, but no, the way she's reacting, it's a tummy ache each time. She is having cramps, baby girl.
An episode about the most deadly thing in the world. A woman on her period.
God.
No, as we all know, hot girls have tummy troubles, and Illyria is struggling with her little tummy.
Once they don't go to the time travel when she does it, then she grabs the head, but no, it's all tummy trouble. She starts with the tummy and then goes to the head. It's tummy trouble. So yeah, I do write tummy aches in my notes 500 times.
Good. And Spike is like, I did that. Babe, you did not.
She literally zooped in.
Yeah.
And she seems confused.
Yeah, she doesn't know what's going on and is talking about something that makes no sense to you guys.
And so I did all of that.
Yep.
It's my high tea.
Then in Gunn's office, Gunn is working on the big old stack. He opens the first file. Lorne comes in.
Lorne, dressed finally in his incognito gear at work, but that's not the point I want to talk about, really. Lorne brings up, he says shoulder to the wheel, a phrase I have only ever heard in Joss Whedon's work, famously in the second episode of Dollhouse, where the middleman plays World's Most Dangerous Game with Echo.
Yep. Oh, classic shit. I did the fucking, I did the gesture.
Shoulder to the wheel.
Dollhouse hoes no. God damn it.
I've never heard it outside the context of a Joss Whedon joint.
No, never. I think that's also one of the funny things when you are working with a showrunner who thinks things are turns of phrases that aren't, that are just that's just a colloquialism that's probably from your family or your friends or something, and it ends up in stuff, and all of us babies are I don't want to tell them that's not a thing, but shouldn't they know it's not a thing?
It's so funny because it's not it caught on past these 2 episodes of television.
Nope. But stop trying to make shoulder to the wheel a thing, Joss. It's not going to be a thing.
Or we should carry on the legacy of shoulder to the wheel.
I will not. I refuse. So Lord is incognito. He is I am dressed like this because it is my job to tail Illyria.
Because you can't trust security at Wolfram and Hart, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Lord is seeming very numb and over it, which is not great. Gunn brings up how weird Wes is acting, and Lorne is like, oh, hell yeah, he's being weird. He's moping around the halls catatonic, then he's jittering around his office, quote, like a bug on a hot plate, end quote, trying to find any scrap of information he can on Illyria. It's weird.
And then got asked, what's Angel say about it? Oh, he's not very talky these days either. All he's doing is fucking talking in this episode.
But not about anything of substance.
I know.
All he's doing is yelling at everyone to get to work all the time when it's
it's because
you're a bad leader.
Angel's angry instead of broody, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm is he drinking his son's blood again?
Is he? Yeah, this man needs a night alone in the dark with a dusty old tome. He needs to sketch again. Angel, return to something that fills up your cup. Protect your peace. Because I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah. Angel actually uses the walkie-talkie to talk to Lord, to bring him in. The first time, the only time. I still think that it should have been he just doesn't know how to use the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that bit. Oh, I did that bit.
The Angel I know wouldn't know how to use the walkie-talkie at all.
Absolutely. And we go to the conference room. Spike is okay, what's the plan on getting rid of Illyria? Are we,
I read in my notes,
putting her out to pasture or taking her to the slaughterhouse?
All the boys meeting in Angel's office because this is just a literal boys club. When Hamilton later leaves, we just see just all men.
Yep. Just dudes.
Here's the thing.
Just for boys now.
Because obviously Amy's still here and Illyria's here, but Harmony's the girl one because Illyria is just outside the space of anything.
I agree.
She's a different thing.
Yes. Angel seems down to do violence. I mean, Illyria killed Fred. Should be fair game. Wes is I don't think she, to be fair, did that with any malice. You know, like she's a virus taking over her body. Like that's not really on her. And Angel is like, I need you to figure out how to kill her. And Wes is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because so Angel first says he wants to find some kind of weakness or point of vulnerability, which is ultimately what they do. But then Wes is like, you want me to find a way to kill her? It's like, you got a problem with that? He does just ask, you have a problem with that? To which Wes says no, which he does. And again, immediately I'm like, you can use her as a tool. You see she's attached to Wes. Use her as a tool. She's attached to Wes and to Spike.
Yeah. She clearly likes Spike. Like, it's just
she could kill Spike if she wanted to.
Easily.
And she does in this episode.
Yeah, it's very fun. So Gunn is like, hey, what about that apocalypse that we're supposedly in the middle of?
Yeah, because he wasn't there when Lindsay told him, and, you know, you would think Lindsay would still be around in these episodes after that happened because we're in the apocalypse. No.
But no, we cannot afford Christian Kane also, in addition to all these special effects. No.
You get Christian Kane or you get special effects. Choose one.
I would choose Christian Kane.
Me too.
Television's best special
Morgan,
effects.
Please watch Leverage.
I know,
he and Aldous, their bromance, so good.
That is very compelling to me. So he's like, supposedly the apocalypse started a long time ago. Evil has just been keeping it under wraps to keep it to their advantage.
And Spike's like, apparently we're on the wrong side, or the right side if you like winning. And Angel says this part, which is, next time you go out there, take a good look around, because it's true, Gunn. And I mean, I know it's true because I've seen this show. Yeah. But like, what in the outside world, like, and anything that's happened this season suggests it's truer than anything else before. And that's why, again, I'm like frustrated because the season is too insular, and obviously it's a problem. Like, it's an intentional problem on the show. It's like that it's not on the street level, but you need to see something so you can like latch onto the bit. And it's just part of the reason is it's so insular because you have like these new sets and everything. Yeah. But you know what would be better? If we had the old sets and you show what's happening out in the streets. Because, like, remember early in the season when they're meeting in Griffith Park to avoid being listened to inside Wolfram and Hart? And they just stop fucking doing that despite knowing that Wolfram and Hart is the bad guy?
Yeah, and I mean, and that's obviously, like, that. This is when we get into talking about budget. Like, it is cheaper to tell stories on your own sets.
Yes, but it's cheaper to use the set you've had for the past 3 seasons instead of making a brand new, huge... He made a brand new, huge fucking set. He made it so huge that you could just walk around, do walk-and talks like you're Aaron Sorkin. We talked about this in the premiere.
And that you can, like, put the camera all these different places and do all these long tracking shots. Like, obviously, there are benefits to having this big new set, but
now you can't go anywhere else.
It clearly also like took up the whole fucking stage. Like anywhere else they go, that has to be a location, or it has to be like some kind of build on like whatever corner of the set is unused.
Yeah, remember the roof scene with Wes and Illyria and how bad that looked.
Yeah, and it really keeps you, like, if these people are supposed to be the saviors of mankind and they're never seeing mankind, it becomes really hard to stay connected to those stakes. And obviously, to a certain extent, that was the story they were trying to tell about all of them losing their way. But it makes it really hard for us, the audience, to like keep our eye on the ball. Yeah. And also, like, it just kind of ends up making Angel sound very much like Old Man Yells at Cloud. Like, look out there. It's so clear that the apocalypse is nigh. And it's like, why? Because the youth's music is too loud? Like,
because their pants are sagging?
Yes, I know. I'm like, are you going to tell people to pull up their pants? I can't handle this shit.
You know what? We got a little bit of the outside world when Spike was thinking he was Lindsay's champion and everything. I never saw anything outside the ordinary there. You can't say that line. Like, that's not even a matter of we're barreling towards the end. We got to like rush. Like, there's been nothing this season has suggested there's anything is worse right now out there than there was before.
Yeah, and it's just. It's a bummer. Like, there's nothing I can feel.
And it could be actually worse in the aftermath of the Jasmine thing. People could be still very depressed. That could still be a part of the show.
Easily. Like, we have not heard anything about like a post-Jasmine culture and how anyone feels about any of this kind of stuff. Like, it's just kind of wild. Like,
how does Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor who was going to put Jasmine in charge, how does he feel about this?
Probably bereft.
How does Kobe Bryant feel about this?
Oh, probably bereft. He probably misses Jasmine.
Exactly.
It's also clearly like we're talking about these things like would have been nice to see. But again, this is a season of the show that's really turned its back on being serialized. So that's not the kind of story they even wanted to tell, where like, you know, we slowly see things that aren't quite right creeping into the background. That's not what they wanted to do anymore. Like we just have to be told how it is. Like we're in an episode of fucking Charmed.
The most we get is not even like on the base level of people. It's the people who should technically be on our team side who's saying, you guys are wrong. It's damage, it's lineage, where like quote unquote good guys are like, you guys are on the wrong side of things. But like, how bad are things right now? We don't know. And we're not going to know in the next episode because we're having fun.
But Angel is like, we're fighting an invisible enemy. And even though we've helped a lot of people, we're still the top earners for Wolfram and Hart. And I was like, they are? Like, I had no idea.
I mean, they keep doing fucking Wolfram and Hart's bidding. Of course they are.
Like, are you proud of that? Like, I'm very confused. Like, what's your mission?
They haven't done anything to sabotage Wolfram and Hart. So of course they're the top fucking earners.
Like, I'm so fucking confused.
You can't tell us all these things are happening outside and then nothing.
Yeah.
What? That's not been any part of the season. Okay, for any complaints, that's not been any part of the season, that things are worse out in the world right now.
Yeah. Like, go to the Jamba Juice across from this place. We know the Hyperion had a Jamba Juice across the street. There's no reason there shouldn't be a Jamba Juice across the street from Wolfram and Hart that they can go and check in with the common man.
I'm sure on the first floor there's a Jamba Juice inside the building.
Damn. You think Charles Gunn is getting those razzmatazzes every day?
I'm Charles Gunn. Give me a razzmatazz.
I still think we need to make that merch.
Now, that's probably the I would say that's the peak of our podcast, but have I ever told you you're a beautiful woman is actually the peak of our podcast?
I agree. That's so right at the start. We really
it's all been downhill from there.
Worse. I agree.
Obviously. But yeah.
So Hamilton comes in.
Yes, and that's why I'm like, why are we having meetings in this fucking office or any office? We should be doing any meeting about the importance or of all of our team stuff, the apocalypse, outside of this place. He clearly heard what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, like, do it in Spike's shitty apartment. I don't care. Like, it somewhere else. But
I want to see this man play Donkey Kong on an Xbox again.
Please. Hamilton's
the TV's broken when they walk in.
I would like that. Hamilton's like, you actually are not the top earners anymore. Illyria destroyed a bunch of shit on her way to get Gunn, and we have you've incurred all of those damages, so now you're at the bottom of the list. Boo-hoo.
Yeah. This is where my notes, I'm just yelling, yes, it's cheaper to be on these sets, but you know what would have been cheaper? Using the sets you already had. But also, so what if they're not the top order? What are the senior partners going to do? They don't want to let him go.
Yeah.
Angel could kick a puppy right now. Who gives a shit? What are they going to do?
Nothing.
They want him to stay here.
Like, there are no, whatever the stakes are here are so nebulous and confusing, and I'm just having so much information.
If the apocalypse is happening already, then fuck them. You don't want to be on their side. Do whatever the fuck you want. Start playing basketball in the lobby, Charles, honestly.
Yeah, get out of there. I just don't. It continues to confound me.
Why do you need to make your clients happy? The apocalypse is happening. Your clients are on the side of the bad, so just don't help them. The end.
Yeah. Very easy, actually, to do that. to just start wrecking shit at Wolfram and Hart. Just destroy the place. Like, blow it up. I don't know. Like, this isn't helpful.
Literally just walk through the halls, start beating the shit out of every lawyer you see. Who gives a fuck? What are they going to do?
Probably nothing.
Hey, Gunn was just in hell, and guess what? Illyria grabbed him out real easy, like. Like, what are you guys going to do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
So Hamilton's like, the partners have a job for you. And Angel's like, well, that's not a priority for me. And Hamilton's like, well, you have to focus on profits to keep the doors open. And I'm like, he doesn't want the doors open.
And here, I think this is the beginning of the Angel talking, like, and yes, because he can't do quippy banter. You couldn't do quippy banter with Eve because she was a child. And you can't do quippy banter with Hamilton because he's a drip.
Yeah. Like, neither of these characters are really...
Put Lindsay or Lila on, honestly. Bring back the corpse of Holland Manners. Bring back the corpse of Linwood. What are we doing?
Put Lila on, please. I'm begging you. I miss her so much. So Hamilton's like, yeah, you gotta focus on profits. And he leaves, and Lauren's like, I still prefer him to Eve. And I'm like, me too, but low bar.
But that's right. But yeah, and that's because boys rule and girls drool. We all know this. Just look at Chewie and Dahlia.
It's true. So then in Wes's office, Illyria comes in to find Wes sitting on the floor and musing.
So much Joe.
So much. Illyria's like, what day is it? What do you call it? And Wes is like, I call it Monday, I think. Like, he does not know what day of the week it is. He's looking concerning.
Has she already she's already done a time loop. We haven't seen it yet, but she's already looping, right?
Yeah, she's looping. She's looper right now. They're like, she's like, we had this conversation before. And he's like, yeah, we've discussed like days and time, right? And Illyria's like, you're my guide, right? But you're more than that. You're my betrayer.
Calm down.
God, like, girl, take a breath. Like,
I don't really want her to calm down, but it does get kind of exhausting.
It occasionally it's like, I wish there were slightly more levels.
I just feel like it has to be very draining for Amy.
Yeah. And she's like, you shattering the little tiny lantern, the window of Ortolan, was an attempt to destroy me, to unmake me, and that was a betrayal. And he's like, okay, well, like, yeah, I did want to bring Fred back, but, like, it didn't work. Does my betrayal sting you? And he kind of seems to take a little bit of joy in the idea that he hurt her feelings, which... hot. Illyria's like, whatever, I don't have a feeling about it, I don't care about it, it doesn't even mean anything to me, you're a fucking idiot, I don't like you, bye.
Yeah, she's like, betrayal was a neutral word in my day, as unjudged a word as water or breeze. Calm down.
I'm like, okay, was she a Bravo Lab in the past life?
Every other line of Illyria's is, blank was a blank in my day.
Yes, very Mad Libby. And she goes, well, perhaps I am only bothered because I am bothered. And, like, it kind of just hits her like, fuck, I have a fucking feeling about something. And Wes
And then she calls us all motes of dust.
Yeah. She's like, that sounds really human. And Illyria's like, you're flies, blah. And Wes is like, hey, manners. And again, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I'm sorry.
Have you checked for the fic yet?
No, but I'm sure it will be tagged dom sub over, like, undertones. I assume it will be. They will be switches. But we go to Angel's office. Gunn's got the file on the job. It looks like a ceremonial demon pact, and we need to sign as witness for the firm. And Angel's like, okay, like, you've met Hamilton before, he said when he came in. And Gunn's like, yeah, he visited me in my hell, offered me a way out. And Angel's like, what did you say? And Gunn's like, do you even have to ask? And Angel's like, yeah.
The door.
And Gunn's like, I told him to fuck off. I'm not into making deals. Not anymore.
Yeah, because now he's back to old Gunn, because he's wearing a hoodie. So he says he doesn't like making deals with hideous, scaly, evil clients. You remember how he was a bigot towards demons? I also remember the season how, homie was jazzed about that shit to the point of saying jazzed. So
remember when he was golfing? I'm sorry. I just like covered my face with my hands. Like I hate it. Makes me ill. So Gunn is like, it's like hard enough already to help these fucking people. And
I hate them again. I'm back to normal.
Yeah. And I kind of wondered, I'm like, did you mean that you found it hard earlier and never communicated to it?
Because you seem to love that shit earlier.
Yeah. Or like, was it always going to be hard to jump back in with these people now that your eyes are open? Like, I would love more specificity to what's going on with him, but we do not get that. Instead, we get a blonde woman who's here about a demon pact, and she's pregnant.
To which I say, enter the wife. As this blonde woman is played by Jamie Bergman, wife of David Boreanaz.
My wife. He was probably saying that a lot.
Very nice.
Very nice. This is great. What we've been missing is more Borat voices.
It really is. I mean, the two funniest things ever are my wife and hello, Joyce. So
Joyce. Yeah, it's true. So we cut to a little bit later. Blonde lady has a contract in front of her.
Amanda is her name. Not Nina.
Amanda.
Not Tina. Amanda.
Amanda has a contract in front of her. She says she was found by demons, led to her by a seer, saying her baby is some sort of holy one to these demons, the fulfiller of a prophecy. They are called the Fell Brethren, and she says they've been very supportive. They're bringing her shakes and vitamins and shit. Like, she likes these guys.
These demons do the news. They are Fells.
Absolutely. Gunn is like, be careful, because like they're demons. And the Fell Brethren show up. They are, I write in my notes, gargoyle looking motherfuckers, and they're like, we're actually your clients here. Like, we're whose interests you're looking out for.
He's trying to warn her, they're demons. She's like, yeah, I know. And I'm just like, come on, Gunn, pay fucking attention. You're reading this. You should know that they're the clients, not her.
Yeah, look at the paperwork. So then in Wes's office, we're back with the conversation that we're having with Illyria and Wes. And Illyria's like, time kind of like doesn't exist until it's like cracked apart, like you do. And Wes is like, I don't know what you're saying, and you also don't look well. And Illyria's like, I don't give a fuck what you think, guy.
I'm like, oh, Wesley's telling someone they don't look altogether well?
Sir.
Look at all the gel in your hair.
Look at that short hair. And something weird happens, and like she reaches for this glass of water, and her tummy ache gets to be too much, and she knocks it over. And suddenly she's in the training room, and Angel is ordering Wes to turn this huge gun on her, this huge space gun. And then
space gun.
I wish Gunn would go to space. What would Space Gunn be like? I bet he'd be cool.
First of all, he'd be wearing space pants. That's the most important part.
100%. And she gets a weird tummy ache again, and then she's back with Angel and Spike in that little room off of the training room. And Spike's like, I did that. She's looking all fucked up because of me.
Yeah, the original zooping.
Good stuff. So then we pick up with Illyria, who phases back into the conversation she's having.
Another
with
tummy
Wes.
ache.
Yet another tummy ache. This poor girl. Like, have a Pepto, babe. I'm worried.
This episode is just a commercial for Pepto-Bismol.
It'd be good. Work on me. And now she's very mad at Wes. She pushes his desk clean across the room, pinning him to the wall.
She must know her strength, because there's no way he's not going through that window plummeting to his death if she didn't do that on purpose.
Mm-hmm. And Illyria's like, you want me dead? And Wes is like, no. And Illyria's like, I fucking saw it. I saw it, bitch. You want me dead? And Wes is like, I don't know what's happening. Poor guy.
He should be walking around with like his ribs taped up for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, like his spine, like, shockingly does not crack in half from this trauma.
He isn't bleeding internally.
It
somehow.
seems like he should be. In the lobby, Illyria's like stalking away. Lauren's following her, all incognito, trying to do his walkie-talkie shit. And the Fell Brotherhood are gossiping. Harmony shows up to, you know, do good secretary stuff.
Yeah, she's clearly been told to stall.
They will take an organic cola, even though they're mostly concerned about Amanda, aka the Vessel. A comforting way to be referred to. Then in Angel's conference room, Gunn tells Amanda it's not too late to get out of this argument. And Amanda's like, aren't you the guys who are supposed to, like, tell me to do this?
And then the most Angel line of the episode is like, well, we are, and well, we're not.
Yes.
And then he has to try to ignore the walkie-talkie. I'm like, so that's Angel. Angel ears from Secret Demon.
Angel, like, flailing to try to, like, shove the walkie-talkie away. And I'm like, you could calmly turn it off if you knew how to do anything.
All of that is the Angel I know.
Classic. Amanda's like, I get how it sounds, giving your baby to, like, a supernatural cult, but he will be worshipped and cared for. He'll be someone important, and I could never give that to him. And she also explains that her husband was hurt at work and suffered brain damage, and the brethren can make him whole again in exchange for the baby. She says he could remember me again, because that is how severe this is. And she says, how does a person turn all that down?
And the thing is, that's what Angel did. He made his son whole again. But the thing I never really thought of, and I thought about here, it's like, okay, so they fix your husband. As soon as he knows that you gave up your son for him, how do you think he's going to feel? That's divorce city. Like, you're not going to have him or your child.
I mean, it depends on whether or not they were initially going to give the baby up, right? Like, always going to give the baby up, like, for adoption.
I don't think they were. I think it's because he got injured and he has brain damage. That's what's causing the financial strife.
Yeah, that's probably not going to end well.
Yeah, it's like, you'll get your husband back, and then he'll have to find out what you did.
Yeah, which will not be...
Because he would have known you were pregnant, and suddenly, where's the baby?
Hey, sir, maybe you should be flattered. She's a problem solver.
Have you seen her? She looks like that, and she's a problem solver? You should be like...
Hold on to that.
Yeah, worshiping the ground she fucking walks on.
Gunn then is like, fuck this shit, and, like, walks away. He can't deal with it. Then in Angel's office, Gunn talks to Angel about suburb hell, says, you know, the fake life was worse than being in the basement because you could feel the dread underneath all of it, which we kind of talked about a little bit before. Like, the creeping, like, something's not right is, like, a huge part of the torture.
Yeah, which is why, even though they don't remember, that's why he's like, I don't want to go to the cellar and all that.
And he says, like, I don't want to hide the horror anymore. And Angel's
that's
like,
from this whole season. Why? You knew you were hiding horror. You knew what this place was. You say Belly for the Beast in the finale. How much of this me frantically being like, what's wrong with you? What we have to cut out?
It's all we're doing this year. Like, I'm very confused. I remain confused. Angel's like, no, we just gotta get through this so we can figure out the bigger picture. And Gunn's like,
plot our next move. Plot our next move in your fucking office that's bugged and, like, everyone can hear you.
And he's like, this is our next move. Like, the team is as full as it can be, and this is the first challenge we're facing now that we know all of this shit. Time to act like the people who are going to win this thing. The people who are going to fight Wolfram and Hart. Like, I again, feel nuts. Harmony pops her head in. She's like, the demons are really impatient. And Angel's like, send them in. Then, in the lab, Wes is looking through the microscope, because just anyone can do science now.
Fred's entire division disappeared when she was dying, even though everyone was technically on it, so who even knows?
Yeah. Hamilton makes a joke about if he's curing cancer, and, like, Wes is like, no, I'm sure that wouldn't be cost effective. And they're like,
you know what's cost effective?
Holder's a client.
Not this last portion of the season where it's clear they're trying to cut corners because they've spent too much money.
Yep. Hamilton's like, have you figured out anything about Illyria? And Wes is not answering him. And Hamilton kind of says, you know, you're the closest thing she has to a friend. And Wes says, if you knew her, you'd know how absurd that statement is. But before
Hamilton's
he says that,
right.
he does a crazy little laugh.
He does a crazy little laugh, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's right. Why are you laughing at him? He's right.
Because he's so stupid. And Hamilton's like, the partners actually do know her. They go way back. They don't want her here. They don't want her anywhere at all.
You tell Angel this. This makes her a tool for you guys.
Yes, like Hamilton's like looking a little sweaty, which is not his usual vibe. And Hamilton gives him a tip to look at this like certain scanner readout to see something. And this basically allows Wes to track Illyria through the office. Later, Spike explains it, that the idea is like she's like an engine leaking fuel everywhere. And this kind of allows you to see that. It's like radioactivity or something like that.
Hamilton's hoping basically that they'll kill her to like stop this from happening, not knowing there's going to be a time loop situation happening.
So in the Wolfram Hart halls, Lorne is, you know, still trying to do his thing. Angel's not replying. He's made. It's not looking good for him. He goes up to Illyria, who he calls Leary, which I did enjoy.
Yeah, his code name for her is Bluebird, though.
And he's like, can you tell me, like, when you caught on to me? Like that made me laugh so hard. He's like, did you catch me in the elevator? Like, was I tailing you too close?
Everyone could catch you, Lorne. You're in a trench coat and hat, and you're going secret team into Angel. Like, what? What are they supposed to think?
Yes, and Illyria says, the vampire plays children's games. She storms off.
Yeah.
Then in the conference room, the demons are very involved in Amanda's pregnancy. You know, they're like asking her about, you know, how like she's doing and nausea and all of that stuff. And it's time to get underway. The demons sign their thing, and Gunn is like, wait. And he's looking at the contract, and he's like, you'll be like, Amanda will be like, the baby will be prepared for the rites of Gordabok. What's Gordabok? And like one of the demons is like, I'm Gordabok. And it's like, okay, like that's a ritual sacrifice. Like, is he gonna eat the baby? Like, what are we doing? And they don't appreciate that insinuation.
Yeah, whose lawyer are you?
Yeah. And Illyria charges in to talk with Angel, who is like, no. And Illyria's like, yes. And Angel's like, fine. And they leave angrily together.
You say it, though, there's not a bunch of talkiness in this because, again, Angel's just talking.
Talking. Then out in the lobby, Angel and Illyria storm past poor Lorne, who's just trying to do what has been asked of him. And is getting nothing but shit for it. Angel yells at Illyria for interrupting his work. Illyria's like, I'm impressed by the power of whatever it is you're using on me. And she's like, you're jealous of me and my strength. And what have you done to me? And he's like, I do not know what you are talking about.
She does say that he's conspiring against her. And I'm like, okay, Klaus Michelson. And your Illyria impression is Klaus Michelson. I hope you realize this.
They're not very different at all.
Literally, her entire line from, what is it? Poison, magics. It impresses me, the power of it. Whatever you've done, it can't save you. To do anything but bow to my will is absurd, yet you conspire. That's Klaus Michelson.
Yeah, we could do a very good, like, Illyria or Klaus dialogue game. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's on one. Maybe that's why I like her. She lifts him up in the air, but he's just not giving her an answer that satisfies her. You know, he like gets out of her hold and he like hits Lorne in the face, which I don't love because he's frustrated.
I'm amused by him pushing him in the head, but just because Lorne's like, that's mature, and I'm like, that's boy energy.
It is boy energy, which I appreciate. Harmony's like, hey, boss, getting pretty shouty in your office. And Angel's like, Gunn can handle it. Then in the lab, Angel tells Spike and Wes what's going on. She's like, she thinks we're trying to kill her. And Wes is like, you are trying to kill her. Wes says she's unstable, overloading. The fusion between Illyria and Fred's body is deteriorating. The human part cannot contain the demonic power.
Yes.
And, per Spike, cracked engine,
because
oil.
As we note, Wes has enlisted Spike. That would have been a great scene to see in the first place.
Would have loved that. They're like, maybe this is the moment to go after her. Wes has that big, huge gun that we saw in the earlier little tummy ache time skip, and it opens up a little pocket dimension that they can shove Illyria into. And Angel's like, and that'll kill her. And Wes is like,
well, it says it will draw her radiant essence. Like, it is explaining what it actually will do. But then Angel has to be like, I'm a big dumbass. Will it kill her? And Wes is like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
He really just is like, wow, you don't want to use your brain for 2 seconds. Sure, it will definitely kill her.
Thumbs up, dude. They see on the monitor that she's in the training room. So they go into the halls and they're charging off towards there. They ask, hey, Wes, what happens if Illyria explodes? It turns out it would be bad if she exploded. Can you believe it? They head to the training room. Lauren follows them in. He's still mad that Angel's not using his walkie-talkie. And then we're in the training room, and they're like, she's not even fucking here. We just saw her. And Lauren's like, I didn't even see her leave. What is going on? Illyria pops up out of nowhere, stakes Spike, kicks Angel, kills Wes, kills Lauren, then kills Angel. Good job, babe.
She kills them all really good.
It's pretty nice.
Although she's having a tummy ache after she kills Spike. But then she kills them all good. She smiles. Then she's admiring her handiwork. And then another tummy ache.
God, it's not right. Tummy troubles. We go to commercial. We come back. I say in my notes, hello, corpses of my once pals. But Illyria's, her tummy's still hurting. She goes, then she suddenly is drawn, through tummy ache, time travel, back into the hall with Angel, who's saying, we're not trying to kill you. And she's like picking him up off of his feet. Then we cut to Wes's office. She's dropping the glass of water there. But somehow Angel is with her now.
Yeah. You weren't here before. You're an aberration in the timeline. It wasn't like this. Cool.
Cool.
And Angel's like, what the fuck?
And Wes is also like, hi, what?
I think the problem is partially besides being angry Angel, he's like meathead Angel in this episode, and I don't care for that.
Yeah, Angel is smart. He can be kind of short-sighted.
Remember his beautiful mind?
Yes. This man doesn't have a mind palace. He does not.
Yeah.
We tummy ache time travel again into the basement in the hell dimension. Now she's fighting the Wrath. Angel is still with her. Illyria says you're swept up in my wake.
He is really all out of whack about this. I'm like, I don't know what the direction was for this episode, but I don't care for it. The way he is acting here, I feel like it has to have come down to Vern Gillam's directing choices, because this is just not how he's been playing Angel in general.
Has Vern directed?
I'm gonna double check.
Is this his first episode of Angel?
A recognizable name, but I'm like, is he in? Let's see. Okay, he did 4 episodes of Angel. Let's see which episodes they are, though.
Okay.
That's the important part. He did season 1's I Fall to Pieces. Then he didn't direct till season 4 again. Apocalypse Now-ish, okay. Then Harm's Way and Time Bomb. I think he's going for, at least this season, maybe more comedic bits, but he's now doing it with David, and because that angry bit of Angel is in Harm's Way, but it is played comedically because he's also a secondary character there.
Yeah, and we're also seeing him through Harmony's point of view. There's a certain amount of subjectivity to the way that we're seeing him. Yeah. But here, he's just angry. He's a very angry boy.
And with Edlin writing this, was this episode you think supposed to be funnier?
I have no clue.
Angel again is we didn't do anything. And she's like, you caged me in this fractured time frame, and moments that repeat themselves over and over without deviation. But I don't say these words. And then it's so this episode is a modified version of the Groundhog Day trope, which is my favorite TV trope. I don't think this is a particularly good one. And like,
that's the thing, is it doesn't feel that inventive with this gimmick.
It's because both Angel and Buffy kind of refuse to go full bore with this. Because like Buffy, you could technically it's a loop, but it's not the same thing with I Only Have Eyes for You. But also they do it in live serial, but it's only in one act of live serial. It's not even the whole episode. It's just an act, which is I did say on a Buffering live show, I think if you want to know about TV writing structure, watch live serial, because like each act is so clearly defined that it's very impressive. But yeah, it's just not something I think maybe Josh probably wasn't interested in that trope as much as I love that trope. As soon as I get a show, I'm doing one Groundhog Day episode a fucking season.
Yeah, baby. So Angel's like, we really didn't do this. We don't have the power to do this. And Illyria's like, vampires are nothing to me. And he's like, stop it with the fucking speeches.
And I'm like, okay, Angelus.
He's like, yes, we were looking for a way to control you. I can't have an X Factor like you bouncing around unchecked. And he's like, you would do the same thing if you were in my position.
But again, I apologize for sounding like a broken record, but this is why we need Cordelia, because like Cordelia should be the one telling her to shut the fuck up.
Yes, like that. Yes, and anger from Cordelia, I don't have problems with. It doesn't. I don't feel sick of it like I do with this. It just feels so.
There's too many men, and I just feel like it's toxic masculine energy being directed at her.
It's just men yelling. And at a certain point, I'm just like, leave her alone.
Men are yelling. Men are being sad. It's every fucking way. And like, I love a sad man. But here's the thing. So I watched the show Chicago Fire for many years. A lot of it is man pain, like a lot of Taylor Kinney man pain, which I love. But then you have like women like Monica Raymond. She's there. She's being cool. She's kick-ass. And then as soon as she left the show, I'm like, there's still other women on the show, but like, the replacement women. They're not, it's not the same as being like the lead.
It's not the same. Yeah.
Same for when Sophia Bush left Chicago PD. Really all the Chicago shows.
We have another instance of tummy ache time travel. And now we're in the training room with all the corpses. And she's like, yep, I did this. I did pretty good, huh? And
so Angel isn't from this timeline, or so he hasn't seen this yet. So he's like, wait, what?
Yeah, because this is from, like, his future.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I killed Spike, and then Wes, and then Lauren, and then you.
She calls Lauren like, your demon clown. I'm like, why haven't we been calling him the demon clown so often?
Because we respect him. Illyria's like, the only way to lead is to kill the things you cannot control. Being moral is dumb. The real ruler doesn't need to be moral, just powerful, okay? And she does this while like walking around him in a circle with her head hurting a lot. And she's so much power and you quibble at its price.
Yeah.
If you want to win a war, you must serve no master but your own ambition.
And this is where I'm like, girl, you ended up in a sarcophagus and the world turned and left you there. #Weezer. Yeah. Like, you didn't win. Again, the muck is in charge now.
And, like, you're a, like, much lesser version of yourself, like, reduced to a fraction of your old powers. Like, you aren't all that, girl. So she is like, ow, okay.
She also,
I get it.
She also,
this can't be your work. It hurts too much.
Someone who could actually do shit did this, not you.
Yeah, she's like, oh, ow. I must be too powerful.
And then her head starts hurting, but I'm like, no, it's all about the tummy ache. She does also earlier in the scene call Angel a paradox and impossible. That's key.
I love Valeria's confidence. I wish it would rub off on me. And he's like, Angel's like, you know, I'm a paradox here. Like, this outcome can change, so change it. And Illyria explodes into light. Then we're in the hallway again. Angel's blown back into the hallway before they all die. He's walking behind Wes and Spike, and they're, doing their walk and talk. And he tries to explain, hey, I got knocked backwards through time. Illyria is about to explode. And they're like, yeah, we know Illyria is going to explode. That's why we're going to kill her.
Angel basically discovers the thing Wes was trying to tell him, but he's like, we're going to kill her. He just learns by listening to her instead of Wes.
Yes. Then we're in the training room. They walk in. Angel's like, fuck, she's going to kill all of us. He pushes Spike out of the way because he remembers that she slew the white-haired one first.
He takes a stake for Spike.
Mm-hmm. That's boyfriend shit. Like, those are two boys who want to kiss.
I'm sorry. We're actually homophobic against them. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're right. So he's like, Illyria, stop, wait, like everyone stand down. And he explains to Illyria, what happens here is you kill us all, then you shudder, convulse, and explode. Mm-hmm. You're not a king anymore. And like, I will not have you blow away my kingdom. Like, that's not cool with me.
Yeah, so he says she's not the king anymore. Domain is gone, swallowed by time. So... Mm-hmm. I would say specifically that's the reason for the power, is because like the body, things have changed. Like the world has changed, so like it can't contain that kind of power. Like there's a reason why those powers was all shut up. But because so much of the episode is, she's failing, she's deteriorating. We know the reason this is happening. Like in terms of making a show, is because it's expensive to do the bullet time and the portals and all that. That's the reason why. And also, you can't make a character too powerful. Blah blah blah, all that stuff. Yeah. But it's just. The way that the whole Fred dying and become Illyria thing was, it's like, wasn't Fred supposed to be perfect for this body? And wasn't it fate? And wasn't her entire body fucked up to make sure that this worked in the first place? So technically, none of this should be happening. It is specifically the world has changed, but they don't hit that as much. Because like Angel says at the last second, but like they're not saying that.
Yeah. Yes.
You need to hit that part because literally you had two whole episodes about like, and here's why Fred is dead and like Illyria has taken over and that's just that. Mm-hmm. And now you're already saying it can't hold. Like, no, the body was made to hold. that body's holding.
Yeah, it was supposed to hold. So Illyria is like, you want me to let you murder me. And Spike's like, it's not murder if you agree to it. So, just so you know. Wes is like, no one's trying to murder you. This won't kill you. And Angel's like, it won't kill her? And Wes is like, yeah, I lied. It'll let her live. I never wanted to kill her.
And I just remember, I'm just thinking of like in Scrubs, the Todd, like all of his high fives, and then he does like the betrayal. He's like, betrayal 5. That's what Wes is doing here.
Many betrayal 5s. So Illyria is still like, hey, you want to bring back Fred. And I'm like, is someone hurt that their crush likes their dead ex still? Is someone hurt? And Wes is like, yeah, but that failed. Stop being mad about it. You're now all that's left of her.
Unfortunately.
And Illyria is like, I don't like this. I'd rather die than live compromised. As we know, she doesn't like adaptation. People aren't allowed to learn stuff, according to Illyria. That's weak.
And again, fighting to hold on to what you were, it's destroying you. Which Angel's not fighting to hold on to what he was, really. Like there's points where he's like, I'm grumpy, I want to quit, and then he does nothing to actually try to quit.
Yeah.
There's no holding on to what they were. Gunn immediately becomes a lawyer.
Yeah, like, if anything, that's the exact opposite of the problem of this season. Like, and it, to me, that feels like the shut up Joss of it all. Like, there was nothing wrong before, actually. What's wrong is all the new stuff. Like, I'm, on supposedly Angel's side. We need to be holding on to the past. I miss it. It was better then. But Spike fights Illyria a little bit. She slows down some time.
Sorry. It's like,
and then she starts blowing up again.
We go into the TV. We put Gunn on the streets. We slash Wes's throat. We put Angel into the bottom of the ocean until he thinks about what he's done.
Be normal again. I yell at them all. Angel
you send
is like,
Connor, this version of Connor to Kortoth to fix him?
no! I would never send Khaki Connor, Angel, my favorite boy, to a bad place.
He needs to learn.
He needs to learn. He can learn in college. Illyria is
You really think he's going to learn
Angel's
at Stanford to be a normal, good person?
I don't know. I don't know anyone who went to Stanford, so I can't vouch.
They're all doing those prison experiments.
Oh, yeah. He'd love that.
he unlocks old Connor again doing the Stanford prison experiment.
Old Connor would love the Stanford prison experiment.
As we all know, every year when you're a freshman at Stanford, you do the Stanford prison experiment. That's a fact.
Yeah. That's just true. That's what happens. That's why you go to Stanford.
I saw Veronica Mars season 3.
So, she's starting to explode. Angel's like, do something different. You can choose to do something different. And Illyria's like, but I don't want to be nothing. And Angel's like, you're being destroyed by holding on to the past. And Illyria's so annoyed. She's just too full of grace for all of this. So she starts blowing up into light, and she blames this all on the weakness of humanity. And Wes says, fair enough.
She says, I was the immaculate embodiment of rule. And I said, girl, you are about to blow.
Uh-huh. Like, you're getting felled by a tummy ache that's going to make you explode.
Which, understandable. I get terrible cramps. That's why I'm on birth control.
That's smart. Yeah, I also get hurt tummies, and it is no joke. It's no laughing matter. Wes shoots her with his ray gun. She falls to the ground, but she doesn't explode. Yay! Later, the boys are in the little observation room.
Yeah,
Illyria's still on the ground.
Yeah, she loves being on the ground. And with that, with weak Illyria, I must say, it's time for Fuck Watch.
Flirting, understanding, consent, and kissing. Flirting, understanding, consent, and kissing. Fuck Watch.
She's so weak.
Ooh.
Because I'm weak. Just Vampire Willow pretending to be real Willow. Because I'm all weak.
Weak. Yep.
But is your Fuck Watch weak, Illyria? It's not mine, just so you know.
It's not mine. No, mine's Crazy Wes. Crazy memories back Wes, who is like
Have you
unwell.
not chosen Wes this season?
No, I chose Wes when he killed his dad. This Wes has his memories back, and he is therefore
that does count as different.
Different Wes. He is a new guy who remembers all of the old shit, and now that he's like so broken, I am like more into him than ever.
Even with his
I'm like, what?
Very short gelled hair.
Yeah, it's still.
It's so short. It's so gelled.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Who are you
I'm saying with that hair, he looks like a late 90s, early 2000s Aaron Paul character.
Fair.
Mine's actually Spike, to the point where I'm asking for more Spike, and I'm like, this is what I like.
Yeah, baby.
Off screen, he and Wes are bonding, and it's great.
I love that shit. Look, it's no carrying a briefcase, but I get it.
It's in the same vein.
It is.
See, we like Spike. This is what we like about Spike.
Yes.
Right in the supporting pocket where he belongs.
Yes, I like him when he's like silly, and yeah, I love my boy. I'm not going to defend myself on that anymore. I love Spike, and that is true. And that's
yeah, that is for yeah. All of my negative things about Spike are for the negative things about Spike.
Mm-hmm. So we established that Illyria is weaker now. She can't dimension hop. Probably can't slow down time.
For money and plot reasons, as I read in my notes.
Yes. Angel asks Wes, do you want to stay with her?
There's also the part where it's like, her physical strength has decreased somewhat, which is the part Angel wanted to hear. It's still a lot. Let's just keep that, just so you guys know, it's still a lot.
It's still a lot. And Wes is like, yeah, I do. And Angel's like, I don't like where this is going. I don't like where it's been. And Wes is like, I don't love her. I just need her now. And Angel's like, that's weird. And Wes is like, I know, okay? And Wes is like, look, she'll never stop trying to conquer stuff. She'll remain dangerous. And Angel's like, yeah, but you might have been right about her being a resource. She just might make the team yet.
And
then he backs out of the room.
And I'm screaming, at no point does Wes note to Angel that the senior partners are clearly afraid of her.
Would have been nice.
Tell him that before you're shown a big fucking ray gun.
Mm-hmm. Then in the conference room, Amanda is still there with the contract. Out in the lobby, Gunn is fighting with the Brotherhood of the News.
Sorry, I had to quote Can't Hardly Wait.
Hell yeah. Gunn is fighting with all the demons. He's like, I don't give a fuck about what was agreed to. Like, I am not giving you this woman's child. Hamilton is there and he's trying to like make assurances and de-escalate things. Angel tells Gunn the baby belongs to the demons. And Gunn's like, but there's nothing on paper yet. Like, we can stop it. And Angel's like, no. And leads them to the conference room. And Gunn says, Angel, what are we doing? He's like so horrified by this. And Angel says, what we're supposed to do. Serve our clients. And the heel turn has begun.
It's the most Angel's working an angle bit there could possibly be, right? Like...
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that it's particularly obscured, but like, how different is that from the way he's been all fucking season? Just like laying down and giving everyone what they want.
To the characters like Gunn, yeah, it's like, what the fuck? But like, to us watching, especially now, not as children, it's like, this is clearly a play.
Yeah, it's like, this is a play, but this also like isn't substantively different from what it was before, you know? I mean, that's our ep. We end in a dark place. I guess Angel's got a plan that he is naturally not letting any of us in on and is doing entirely on his own. I'm sure it's going to work out great.
Only 3 episodes left of a fresh Angel.
On the WB.
On the WB Wednesday. You've seen how tortured he is, but why is he tortured? Sure, they told us in Buffy, but that's not our show anymore. On a fresh Angel.
I'm loving this. I'm feeling very nostalgic.
And then commercial, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire.
See, I was gonna do woo woo,
woo woo, Garnier Fructis.
That was gonna be mine. Oh gosh, if anyone can give us another commercial rip, I will love you forever.
I will S your D.
I absolutely will. I'll S whatever you want me to.
I will S it all. I'll S your E.
Absolutely. Whatever. So it's been a long day. It's been a trying day for Illyria. Her tummy has hurt.
She should just puke already. Jesus.
I know. And maybe it would feel better.
The kaboom is her puking.
Yeah.
That's a shirt. The kaboom is her puking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shirt. Is there anything you'd recommend Team Angel tune into on the old WB?
Yes.
Angel is a vampire. Does he even like TV?
I think he'll like the WB.
They got that hot teen drama to ease the pain and trauma. And here's the episode that he needs to see.
Oh,
yeah. So obviously it's gotta be a Groundhog Day loop, baby.
Please.
So Charmed had deja vu all over again. We're not doing that though. We're not.
Okay.
I'm actually going to have to do the CW. I'm going to have to cheat in the situation. Some might think Supernatural Mystery Spot, which is actually pretty poignant and definitely hits it better than what's happening here. But of course, I'm not going to go with poignancy. I'm going to go with the most fun that's ever existed, which is Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 11. Here I go again. Zari's a new member of the team. She's not quite connected with them. They're doing missions with Napoleon where they're dressed like ABBA. Yes.
Classic.
And she ends up in a time loop. No! Groundhog Day, baby. It's a brilliant episode. I mean, season 3, I think season 3 probably is the best season. That is also the Bebo season, so.
Hell yes.
But yeah, the original Bebo season at least.
Fuck yeah. Well, I hope that Team Angel enjoys their viewing.
They don't see a team that actually gets their shit together. Yeah. And when they're not getting together, they just, find new people to be part of the team. And they have girls on there.
Yeah.
Girls kissing other girls.
Hell yes. Heard of it?
Morgan, I need you to watch Legends of Tomorrow.
I know. It's just there's like a whole first season that I know is not good. It's just a little tough.
I really am just like, watch like the premiere. I told you this a million times, but you'll do it again. The pilot / premiere is technically 2 parts. It is interminable. I'm sorry. Then watch maybe like at most the last 3 episodes of the season at most,
and then 2.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That is WB.
That is. Watch the frog.
Absolutely. WB. Now, that kind of brings us to the end of our episode. I think it's been... We both agree this one's a little bit middle of the road. Suffers from a lot of the symptoms of this season, but there's some fun to be had.
It's fascinating that it's a Ben Edlund episode.
It just does not feel like him at all.
Even like watching end of season 4 where they're like on the run from Jasmine, him doing it, I'm like, and that's a Ben Edlund bit, like, too. I'm like, yes. It's interesting because this is Angel. I'll be like, there's a soullessness to this season that I feel like is very much in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not quite alive. But we only have 3 episodes left.
3 fresh episodes. You'll never guess what happens next.
And we will be here dutifully recapping all of them. And we're really excited to, see this through with you guys.
And then on Angel on Top's Big Sunday, you've seen them as goddesses. You've seen them as mermaids. But wait, superheroes? Record scratch.
Hell yes. God, I can't wait till we talk about that on Cole Turner Cast. They're so married in that episode, and they're divorced in it. So figure that out. But anyways, if you would like to follow us on socials, you can follow this podcast on Twitter at Angel on Top Cast or on Instagram at Angel on Top Cast. You can go to angelontop.com to be led to our Patreon, where you can get ad-free episodes, access to like our previous like live watches, the ones that we've done on tape, and the friggin' Cole Turner Cast, aforementioned. It rules. It's one of the only podcasts where people are discussing the main character of Charmed, Cole Turner. If you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so at Lorgan Moodich, wherever you so desire. LaToya, where can the people find you? And should they?
You know the deal. You let them know.
Hell yes. You can follow LaToya at LaFergs if you're going to be fucking normal. Very important to observe her pinned tweet, which is a GoFundMe for her beautiful, handsome boy, Chewy. He is not doing so good, and he could really use the extra support. So anything you can donate, retweets help, and bribing your rich friends helps even more.
And so
please do it.
To guilt everyone, the other day he had another seizure, which is just normal in his life. Probably one of the longer ones he's had too. The next day, yesterday, he could barely walk. We had to carry him around just to take him out to use the bathroom. So
I'm so sorry. So please do whatever you can. And now, LaToya, any closing thoughts on this before we skedaddle?
I'm tired of all these beta cucks all up on my Angel. Where are the alpha males?
Yes. When will a real man arrive?
I need a hero.
Yeah. So as we hold out for a hero, we can tell you that you are now leaving Wolfram and Hart. And no, we do not validate.
Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.